Hey, what's up, guys? So I am so excited because I finally get to show you my new side hustle from home, which is making flags, handmade, vintage style with a sewing machine that barely costs from $120 to $250 depending on how much you want to invest. So far, I have sold 4 flags and I have made over $200 in free profit after eBay fees, after shipping, and after my investment. Now, why do I want to do this? Well, because it is a very profitable business and it is not the first time. Actually, I used to do this many years ago, even way before I started making decals with my brothers. So I know it's a profitable business, but there are some tips that you need to know because these are not any normal or regular flags. These are handmade flags, vintage style, and people like these flags. I wish I had proof from those years because I literally made thousands of dollars with just a sewing machine. So in the upcoming episodes, I will show you everything I documented on my other YouTube channel. But now that I have permission from the crew, I will show you my side hustle on RDI officially. So make sure that you like this video. If you like this new side hustle, also subscribe because there's more episodes on this business coming in the upcoming days. So let's begin with episode 1. People are definitely struggling today on 2025 and prices just keep rising. The rent, groceries, gas prices, everything is going up and people are finding it harder to live and afford anything really. Lucky for me, I know many hobbies. I know how to play guitar. I was thinking of, teaching people like how to play basic guitar. I also know the basics on coding and computer programming. So I also make basic websites, and I also like to make digital products using AI. With AI, pretty much anybody right now can be a computer programmer. I also want to teach people how to do that. But another hobby of mine is sewing. And I guess that came from my parents because when I was 3 years old, I remember my parents working from home because my dad used to own a business where he makes shorts for a school. So he used to have a contract with them, and him and my mom always stay up late at night. He was, tracing the patterns. My mom was cutting the patterns and stitching them with the sewing machine. And I remember all of that. So I guess that hobby comes from them. So today I'm going to make this flag that I saw on eBay. It's called the St. George flag. It's an English flag, and I see this listing selling it for a good price, and many products have been sold. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot and try to recreate this product 100% handmade, because I think people, are really feeling proud right now these days of where they're from. So right now I want to sell flags, handmade flags, because that's one of my passions too. And I own a sewing machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to recreate this product. Sewing is one of my passions. It relaxes me. Plus, it's a good way for you to stay busy and make some money. And I have done this in the past. However, I don't know how the market it is right now on handmade stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this product because it's a good price. Plus, it's an easy product to make. To be honest with you, this is not the first time. I always sold handmade products on eBay and Etsy, and just because it was good money, plus I enjoyed this. I used to buy a coat that I like, but I did not like the fabric. So what I used to do is like use a thread cutter and cut the patterns, and used to buy my favorite fabric and trace those patterns and remake that same jacket but with my favorite fabric. And that's just one of my passions. I guess that comes from them. So after an hour or so, I finally have my prototype ready. However, I am missing one crucial part on this product, and that is a cord that I like to add on my flags, because I want to make this product as close as vintage or as old as possible, even though it is not an old product. But I want to recreate one as, you know, they were, how they were made back then, because most people use metal eyelets, and those to me are just not good looking. I want to make this flag look vintage, so I need to go back to the craft store and buy me some cord and just add it to my final product. Well, I just came from the craft store, and from the two bills that I have from Walmart and Hobby Lobby, because some of the stuff I got from different stores, and I did the math and I calculated around $16 to my investment to make this flag. However, I still got some cord left, so I'm gonna use that for my next flag, and that'll be a surprise. I have another one you know, in my view, so I will let you know which one it is. But right now I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna finish this flag because I want to post it on eBay and see what happens. As I mentioned, this is not the first time I sell this flag. I used to sell it before and I did pretty good. And the reason why I choose these flags is because they're vintage and they're really popular. And another reason why I do this is because I'd rather do this at home, even though it takes time and labor. But that's much better than going back to my old job, deal with my boss, my co-workers. You know, I'd rather do this than have to go back to work. Call me lazy, whatever you want to call me. I just like to be independent. I like my time. I like to get up on my own schedule. So this is pretty good for me. I'd rather do this any time, any day, than going back to work for somebody else's dream. If you don't work for yours, then you will have to work for somebody else's. Keep that in mind. I'm expecting to sell this flag within 7 days or a week. So hopefully I sell it that quick. But back in those days, that's how much time it used to take to sell these flags. So let's hope for a good result. Now, there's a reason why I like to make my flags look a little more like vintage, old school. That is because it is a marketing strategy. I want to be different than the competition. I don't want to do the usual stuff. As I mentioned, most of the other sellers, they like to put metal eyelets on their flags. I don't. I personally prefer the core because it gives it that look like vintage and like old style. But however, I don't sell them as original, but just sell it as vintage style, and I think that's gonna give me an advantage to the competition. And now it is time to take it outside in the sun and take some clear pictures and post it on eBay. Usually they don't take very long, but I'm hoping for the best, so let's hope that it sells quick. So it's been 4 days since I placed that listing, and I'm already getting some views on my listing. These are the pictures that I took for my eBay, and I gotta say, they're not looking bad. And I just sent an offer to a person who's been looking at my listing for $58 because I placed this flag for $68 plus shipping. So hopefully he accepts the offer. If he doesn't, that's okay. I'm already expecting this flag to sell within the week. However, as I mentioned in the intro, I have sold this flag before, but not in so many years. So I don't know how the market it is right now, so we'll see. It might take longer than that, but the good news about this is that the flag is just sitting there waiting to be sold. So it's not like it's a product that's gonna go bad or spoil. So this is why I love making flags, because I mean, it's just sitting there just waiting for, for it to sell. So no problem, I can make more and just put them on the side and just place the listing, and they're just waiting there to be sold. But I already have another flag on Target, and tomorrow I'm gonna go and buy some more fabric, different colors, because this is gonna be a different flag, one that I never made before, but it's really easy to make. So make sure you subscribe and follow me on this adventure, because I will show you everything. I'm not gonna hide anything from you. I'm gonna show you if this business is good, if it's worth for you to invest, if this is something that interests you. All you need is a sewing machine and some thread and fabric, and that's it. All those items, you can find it anywhere at the store, on your local Walmart or even craft store. But I'm gonna make sure to leave some links below if you want to support my channel. I will have some links below. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Hopefully you liked this video, and if you did, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Hopefully I sold the flag by then. See you guys.